reaching out for the other side. I may be climbing on rainbows, but baby, here
looks like it's over. You knew I couldn't stay. She's coming home today. We had a good thing. I miss your sweet love. Why must you look at me that way? It's over. Sad eyes turn the other way. I don't wanna see you cry. Sad eyes, you knew there'd come a day when we wouldn't have to say goodbye. Try to remember the magic that we shared. In time, your broken heart will mend. I never used you. You knew I really cared. I hate to see it have to end, but it's over. Sad Let's hang on to what we got. Don't let go, girl. We got a lot of love between us. Hang on, hang on, hang on to what we got.
You say you're gonna go and call it quits, gonna chuck it all and break my love to bits, breaking up,
I wish you never said.
breaking up.
No, we'll both regret it.
That little chip of diamond on your head, mean a fortune, baby, but you know it stands for your love,
I love to try and
for
find
your
us.
love,
We just can't live behind us, baby.
for your love, for your love.
Baby, get over and stay. Let's hang on to what we got. Don't let go, girl. We got a lot of love between us. Hang on, hang on, hang on to what we got.
bottom so that the dancers, they just won't hide.
You might like to hear on the organ, I said right, Sally, right.
Dance to the music. Dance to the music. Dance to the music. Dance to the music. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. Oh, when it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. Well, I guess you'd say, what can make me feel this way, my girl, my girl, my girl.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Ooh. That's a good job in the city, working for the man every night and day. Then I never lost 1 minute of sleep. I've been worried about the way that things might happen. These wheels keep on turning, oh girl, baby, keep on running. We've been rolling, 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 rolling on the river, rolling on the river. We've been rolling, 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 rolling on the river, rolling on the river. Every man has a place. In his heart there's a space, and the world can't erase his fantasies. Take a ride in the sky on a ship and decide all your dreams will come true right away. And we will live together until the 12th of never. Our voices will ring forever. try with the wind as you fly away. Give a smile from your lips and say,
Are you free?
yes, I'm free and I'm on my way. Let's hang on to what we got. Don't let go, girl. We got a lot of love between us. Hang on, hang on, hang on to what we got.
You say you're gonna go and call it quits, gonna chuck it all and break my love to bits. Break it up,
I wish you never said
break it up.
no, no, we'll both regret it.
That little chip of diamond on your head mean a fortune, baby, but you know it stands for your love,
I love to try and
for
find
your
us.
love,
We just can't live behind us, baby.
for your love, for your love.
Think it over and say, let's hang on to what we got. Don't let go, girl. We got a lot of love between us.
Hang on, hang on, hang on to what we got.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I want to hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Pardon the way that I said, there's nothing else to compare. The sight of you leaves me weak. There are no words left to speak. But if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. I love you, baby, and if it's quite alright, I need you, baby, to warm a lonely night. I love you, baby. Trust in me when I say, oh, pretty baby, don't bring me down, I pray. Oh, pretty baby, now that I found you, stay and let me love you, baby. Let me love you. hold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one's for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpiece. Styling, wildin', living it up in the city. I got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too hot for the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And I'm bad about that money. Girls hit you hallelujah. Girls hit you hallelujah. Girls hit you hallelujah. Cause uptown folk gon' give it to you. Cause uptown folk gon' give it to you. Cause uptown folk gon' give it to you. Saturday night we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! Fill my cup, put some liquor in it. Take a sip, sign a check. Right to Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. If we show up, we gon' show down. Smoother than a fresh dry skippy. I'm too hot for the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And I'm bad about that money. Girls hit you hallelujah. Girls hit you hallelujah. Girls hit you hallelujah. Cause uptown funk gon' give it to you. Hey, cause uptown funk gon' give it to you. Cause uptown funk gon' give it to you. Saturday night we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Hey, 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 oh!
Welcome to Rowan University's 2016 commencement ceremonies. The procession is ready to begin. Please silence all cell phones and please remain seated during the processional so everyone can see. Thank you.
could reach the stars, I'd pull one down for you, shine it on my heart, so you could see the truth, that this love inside is everything it seems. Yes, for now I find it's only in my dreams that I could change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good, baby, if I could change the world. If I could be king, even for a day, I'd take you as my queen. I'd have it no other way. And our love would rule in this kingdom that we have made. Till then I'd be a fool, wishing for the day that I could change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for our national anthem and remain standing for the invocation.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Donald Farnelli, Grand Marshal.
Good morning, members of the class of 2016, your families, friends, and the Rowan University community. My name is Dr. Donald Alfonso Farnelli. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Physics and Astronomy at Rowan University. Currently, I'm in my 52nd year teaching here at Rowan. And as the longest tenured full-time faculty member on campus, I am honored to present today's invocation and benediction and to serve as the Grand Marshal for commencement. Graduates, with the busyness that is commencement, the speeches, the ceremony, the celebrations to follow, may you all take a moment to reflect on what and who helped you reach this day. Of course, that includes your own efforts. It also includes the support of your loved ones and the Rowan University family. Family, friends, professors, staff, community members, honored guests, join our students in celebrating all that has made this day a reality. May this commencement ceremony be memorable to each and everyone here today. Thank you, and please be seated.
Now, Dr. Jim Newell, Rowan University Provost.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to introduce our special guests. Please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. President, Dr. Ali Hushmand. From the Rowan University Board of Trustees, Mr. Chad Bruner. Our distinguished guests, Mr. Nicholas Paleologos, our keynote speaker. Mr. John Beck, our honorary degree recipient. Mr. Joe Battazzi from the Foundation Board. Ms. Alice Parker from the Foundation Board. Ms. Rhonda Holland from the Alumni Board. Ms. Sandy Maxwell from the Alumni Board. Ms. Denise Williams, the CWA President, and members of the Cabinet, deans, faculty marshals, and other senior members of the administration. Last but not least, there are two very important constituencies that must be recognized as well. Students, please rise and face the people that are most important in your life, your parents, partners, brothers, sisters, and loved ones who have provided support and resources to help bring us to this day. Applaud them as you stand here ready for graduation. Secondly, please recognize your Rowan family, the faculty, staff, and administrators who share in your pride and success today. Please be seated.
Good morning. My name is Chad Bruner, and I am the Vice Chairman of the Rowan University Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you and your families and friends to Rowan University on behalf of the faculty, staff, and administrators. I grew up in Glassboro, just beyond those trees, a few blocks over the railroad tracks during the 1970s and 80s. From then until now, my Rowan University has grown, just like each of you during the past 4 years. Your parents packed you up, dropped you off as teenagers, and now you are men and women eager to become future leaders of tomorrow's world. I challenge you to embrace that role. Become a leader in your field. Accept the challenges ahead and overcome the barriers and obstacles along the way. I recently read a book on leadership called Above the Line. The lessons it taught are simple. It encourages you to lead above the line in an intentional, purposeful, and skillful way. Every day is a battle for whether we choose to live above the line or below the line. Above the line behavior is conscious and thoughtful and takes persistence and effort. Below the line behavior is impulsive, on autopilot, and resistance. Below the line is dangerous because it is comfortable and convenient. It is the path of least resistance. It takes little effort or skill, and the best it can produce is just okay. Below the line is generally your default response. It is my default response too. It isn't hard to find people who are caught up in below the line behavior. All you need to do is look for those whose first reaction is to blame, complain, and defend, or BCD behavior. When there's a lot of BCD going on, it means people are not owning their mistakes and not being accountable. We need to ruthlessly eliminate BCD. Instead of accountability, it creates a culture of excuse-making and victimization, things that are toxic to any organization and performance. It has never solved the problem, achieved the goal, or improved the relationship. In life, it is inevitable that you'll be presented with some type of challenging event, and every event will produce a certain outcome. There's a simple equation to remember when this happens. E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals outcome. This equation teaches us something very important about the way life works. We do not directly control the events in life, and we do not directly control the outcomes, but we always have control about how we choose to respond, and how we respond means everything. It is important to understand that success is not determined by the situations you experience, but rather by how you choose to manage what is called the R factor, or the response. Every day, you will make R factor decisions. These are actions you take, or not, towards the pursuit of your goals, whether to give up or persevere through obstacles you experience, or how you choose to interact with people at work and with family at home. And how you respond makes all the difference in the world. So I encourage you and challenge you to not choose a default response that is below the line behavior. Take the event head on. Choose on the above the line type response and watch how positive the outcome will be. Be a leader, be accountable, be consistent. Fight for that every day. Make a difference, make your mark. Congratulations, class of 2016, you did it.
Good morning, America. Good morning, everyone. Come on. Seems to me that many of you did not have your coffee this morning. Wake up, you are the creator bunch. Good morning. I am Ali Hushman, President of Rowan University. Class of 2016 of the College of Communication and Creative Arts, and yes, College of Performing Arts. Let me join in congratulating you. Yes, come on, louder. There you go. That's much better. That's the kind of energy we create in our students. We teach them how to scream loud. You have invested a great deal of time and energy to reach this day. You have studied hard, landed internships, led clubs and organizations, embraced the Rowan family, and exhibited the Rowan spirit. I am really, really proud of you. Congratulations. As you have come a long way in the last few years, so too has Rowan University. You have reaped some of the benefits of an evolving Rowan. The next generation of students will reap those yet to come. In brief, I will tell you that your time here has been one of the remarkable growth and achievements. We now boast 2 medical schools and are just the 2nd university in the nation to offer Doctor of Osteopathy and Medical Doctor programs. We gained research institution status. We are building new facilities for our Rowan College of Business and Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering, and new housing as well, and many, many more buildings, believe it or not. We revitalized facilities in Camden and watched Rowan Boulevard explode with housing, retail space, and classrooms. We grew to more than 16,000 students, and they are some of the best from New Jersey. Indeed, in the last decade, applications have jumped 59%, and SAT scores for regular admit students increased by 75 points. 29% of our students come from underrepresented populations. We added programs and offered more degrees. National publications and organizations continue to rank us in the top of, well, I can't say everything, but they certainly place many of our programs amongst the elite. So, what does our future look like? While I cannot predict it exactly, I can share some goals we have. And as Rowan is very good at meeting and exceeding goals, I'm excited about where we are headed. By 2023, we plan to grow to 25,000 students in traditional and non-traditional programs, and our medical school enrollment will grow to around 1,500 students. We will offer more than 100 undergraduate programs and more than 90 graduate, doctoral, and professional degree programs. We will have finished our major capital projects, academic buildings, and housing included. We will expand our collaboration in education and with business, and we still will work to ensure accessibility to an affordable college degree in tandem with our county college partners and others. Can you imagine? Can you picture this? I certainly can. And I have to add that while you may not be attending Rowan when we surge ahead with these plans, they still will benefit you. Why? Because every one of our achievements make the degree you receive today even more valuable. That said, everything you do from this day forward also benefits Rowan University. Graduates, you have been a part of the story of a remarkable growth and achievement at your university, and you will be a part of Rowan's future. As you end this segment of your education, I ask you to continue to contribute to Rowan's stature. Land jobs, create jobs, help build your community, and remember your alma mater. The door always will be open here. Walk through it, mentor new students, serve on boards, volunteer, and remember, you have made us all very, very proud. Congratulations to all of you. Today, I'm pleased to welcome as commencement speaker for the College of Communication and Creative Arts and the College of Performing Arts, a man who has made his mark with stage, television, and movie productions and brought life to the arts in New Jersey, on Broadway, and in London, among other places. Executive Director of New Jersey State Council on the Arts, Nicholas Paleologos, is a two-time Tony Award-winning producer whose credit include both the London and Broadway production of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I said it the right way, right? He received the Primetime Emmy Award nomination for the HBO film In the Gloaming and produced the Emmy-nominated Lansky for HBO. And he has produced documentaries for both Frontline and The American Experience on PBS. His motion picture credit includes Hurly Burly and the Academy Award nominated Ghost of Mississippi. Mr. Paleologos has had a diverse career far outside entertainment. He served for 14 years as a member of the Massachusetts House of Representatives, where his primary focus was on education and the arts. He was House Chairman of the Education, Arts, and Humanities Committee from 1985 to 1990, and he authored several major initiatives, including the Education Reform Acts of 1985, the Performing Arts Student Series, the Student Freedom of Expression Law, and the College Opportunity Bond Law. After leaving the legislature in 1990, Mr. Paleologos helped create the Boston Renaissance Charter Public School and served for more than a decade as one of its founding trustees. In 2000, he founded Boston's Stewart Street Playhouse, and from 2007 until 2010, he served as Executive Director of Massachusetts Film Office. Under his leadership, the Film Office attracted to the Commonwealth more than $1 billion of new direct spending on film and television production. Mr. Paleologos is a cum laude graduate of Tufts University and holds a master's degree in public administration from Harvard University. Please join me in welcoming our commencement speaker, Mr. Nicholas Paleologos.
So I know what you're thinking. Rutgers got Obama. You're stuck with. Thank you, President Hushman, Dean Paston, Dean Arnold, distinguished trustees and faculty, friends and family of this awesome class of 2016. I first want to acknowledge the huge debt of gratitude we owe to Henry Rowan, who passed away in December. This son of Ridgewood shocked the world in 1992 by making the largest gift ever, $100 million, not to MIT, where he got his degree, but to a little-known New Jersey public college that was founded in the same year that he was born. Mr. Rowan's enduring legacy to the university that now bears his name not only made today possible for you, but stands as a perpetual challenge to us, never to forget the importance of public higher education to the future of this country. Henry Rowan was part of what has come to be known as the greatest generation. One by one, these parents of baby boomers are passing away. My dad was one of them. When I was a kid, I had no idea of what life was like for him when he was a kid. Dad's parents fled a civil war in Greece to make a new life in America, specifically in Lowell, Massachusetts, during the Great Depression. He and his family grew up in a 3-story tenement with no hot water. On his first day of school, he didn't speak a word of English. Dad passed away a couple of years ago, and like so many of my fellow baby boomers who've lost their parents, I think about him a lot. I think about the country he left me and the country I'm leaving to my 3 millennials. Dad was 9 years old when Franklin Roosevelt was elected president. Unemployment was 25%. 2 million Americans were flat out homeless. And every bank in 32 of 48 states had slammed the doors shut on their depositors. Even so, in his first inaugural address, Roosevelt reassured the nation that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Roosevelt didn't waste any time. The country had work that needed to be done, and there were millions of jobless citizens willing to do it. So the president started the Civilian Conservation Corps. My dad lied about his age to get into the CCCs and was immediately put to work at a state forest up in Vermont, where he earned $1 a day, most of which went home to his mother, my immigrant grandmother. Not surprisingly, when Roosevelt sounded the call to arms in December of 1941, my father was only too happy to return the favor by heading off to the Pacific to fight in World War II. When the war ended, Dad stepped off the PT boat proud and penniless, with just his service dress blues and the brain in his head. At that moment, Roosevelt could have given Dad a pat on the back and sent him home to the hard-scrabbled streets of Lowell. But the president had something else in mind for my father: college. Not just for Dad's benefit, but for America's. And it didn't matter to Roosevelt that Dad couldn't afford it. The president insisted that the country pay for Dad's college education. Under the GI Bill, Arthur Paleologus, together with 8 million of his fellow veterans, went to colleges, vocational schools, got low-interest mortgages and loans to buy homes and start businesses, and all they did in return was create the great American middle class. Franklin Roosevelt died in 1945, but I grew up in the America that he built, a country that could send my dad to college, build an interstate highway system, put a man on the moon, and most important, a country where both Dad's income and his boss's increased at roughly the same pace. Because everybody paid their fair share of taxes, because the banks weren't allowed to gamble away Dad's savings, and because government raised mostly enough money to pay for the programs that people wanted. That country started disappearing when I was in my late 20s. I just didn't know it at the time. A new president, Ronald Reagan, in his first inaugural address, took dead aim at Roosevelt's America. Government, he famously declared, is not the solution to our problems. Government is the problem. And for the next 3 decades, with precious little pushback, America did a complete 180. The higher your income, the lower your tax rate. The harder you work, the more you produce, the less you keep for yourself and your family. Corporations are your friends, the government is your enemy. Until everything came crashing down right around the time you started high school. For those of you who are fans of Frank Capra's classic film, It's a Wonderful Life, imagine falling asleep in 1978 in Bedford Falls and waking up 30 years later in Pottersville. Just like in that movie, the great American dream of the great American middle class was built on the solid foundation of home ownership. Until one day, literally the value of all of those homes, trillions of dollars, was wiped out overnight. But by the way, Muslims didn't do that. Mexicans didn't do that. Wall Street did. But you already know that. How could you not? You're graduating right smack in the middle of a huge national argument over the role of government, which is a little strange when you think of it, because the Declaration of Independence right up front tells us that the role of government is self-evident, namely, to secure your right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That last one, the pursuit of happiness, that one's been the subject of every presidential election since my father was 9 years old. Believe it or not, every 4 years since 1932, the same two people have been on the ballot for president. They just had different names and different faces, but if you look very closely, you'll see it's always been the same choice between two very different visions for America, Roosevelt's and Reagan's. Roosevelt believed that the best way for government to secure your right to the pursuit of happiness was to, as much as possible, remove fear from your life. For Roosevelt, fear makes us less productive citizens, less likely to take risks, less entrepreneurial, less forward-looking. Roosevelt believed that a basic prerequisite for the pursuit of happiness in America is freedom from fear. In Reagan's America, fear is a motivator. Fear of losing your job or of getting sick or of being destitute in your old age. All of that fear makes us work harder, makes us more productive. And at the end of the day, if we still can't afford the cost of staying healthy or educating our kids, well, that's our fault, not our country's. For Roosevelt, fear is bad, fear holds us back. For Reagan, fear is good, fear moves us forward. For 30 years, my generation basically bought into the fear is good argument. Now we see things a little differently. Maybe it's because we've lost our jobs or our homes or our pensions or our ability to pay for our kids' education. Maybe it's because billions of dollars in profits aren't showing up in our paychecks anymore. Instead, they're paying for 30-second commercials designed to convince us that money is speech and corporations are people, and the craziest one of all, that wealth should be taxed at a lower rate than work. Speaking of fear, this year, I guess, we're supposed to be afraid of immigrants. That one really kills me. For heaven's sake, God Bless America was written by a Jewish immigrant who fled persecution in Russia in the 1890s. His name was Israel Isidore Baleen. You know him by his American name, Irving Berlin. Which brings me to the story of a young Hispanic couple who grew up in New York City in the 90s, the 1990s. They first met at Hunter College High School. She was a sophomore, a math whiz, a great dancer, very opinionated. He was a senior, a theater nerd who performed in almost every school play, and he always carried a boombox around with him. He noticed her in high school, but never quite got up the courage to talk to her. After graduation, he went off to Wesleyan College, where he picked right up where he left off, writing and directing and acting in a bunch of college shows ranging from musicals to Shakespeare. He also found time to start an improvisational comedy troupe. After getting his degree from Wesleyan, he went back to his old high school and he worked as a 7th grade English teacher. By that time, she had already graduated from high school and she was well on her way to a bachelor's degree at Henry Rowan's alma mater, MIT, which eventually led to a pretty good job as a scientist at Johnson & Johnson in Skillman, New Jersey. While she was at J&J, he moved into an apartment with some friends. His improv group was making a name for itself, plus he was writing lyrics on the subway and performing at bar mitzvahs to pay the rent. Then in the summer of 2005, while catching up with fellow Hunter graduates on Facebook, he came across her profile. He sent her an instant message inviting her to his next show. She showed up and was pretty impressed. Still, he was so shy around her that he had to ask a friend to get her phone number. Then he called her and invited her to another show. And yes, she showed up a second time, but this time, after the show, they discovered that Hunter College High School and their Hispanic heritage wasn't all they had in common. There was also Grand Theft Auto, Jay-Z, Mark Anthony. That night, he told her about how, as a 7-year-old kid growing up in Washington Heights, he saw his first Broadway show, Les Mis, and he fell in love with the theater. He told her about how on his 17th birthday he saw Rent, which changed his entire view about how theater can speak to the real lives of people. So it wasn't long before the couple became not only best friends, but fixtures in each other's lives. And then lightning struck. He scored the starring role in a Broadway show, a lifelong dream. She quit her job at J&J to go to Fordham University to pursue a newfound passion of hers, the law. In 2010, the couple had a storybook wedding. At their reception, he and his family surprised her with a heartfelt flash mob rendition of To Life, that great production number from Fiddler on the Roof. And yes, this Jewish story of family and tradition resonated deeply with these second-generation Latinos. You can see it for yourself on YouTube. Their wedding video went viral. But I'm telling you their story for a different reason. A few years before they got married, he decided to take some time off from his 8-performance-a-week Broadway schedule to coincide with her semester break from law school. He was making decent money at the time, and he decided to treat her to a vacation in Mexico. At the airport terminal, he bought a book that happened to catch his eye. He started reading it on the plane, and he couldn't put it down. When she asked him to explain to him exactly what was it about this 700-page historical biography that so captivated his imagination, it literally took him a year to answer that question in his own words. These words: how does a bastard, orphan, son of a whore and a Scotsman, dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean by Providence, impoverished in squalor, grow up to be a hero and a scholar? The $10 founding father without a father got a lot farther by working a lot harder, by being a lot smarter, by being a self-starter. By 14, they placed him in charge of a trading charter. And every day while slaves were being slaughtered and carted away across the waves, he struggled and kept his guard up. Inside, he was longing for something to be a part of. The brother was ready to beg, steal, borrow, or barter. Then a hurricane came and devastation reigned. Our man saw his future dripping down the drain. put a pencil to his temple, connected it to his brain, and he wrote his first refrain, a testament to his pain. Well, the word got around. They said, this kid's insane, man. Took up a collection just to send him to the mainland. Get your education. Don't forget from whence you came. And the world's going to know your name. What's your name, man? Alexander Hamilton. That's right. Just last month, for writing those words, which became the opening rap of his theatrical masterpiece, Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda won the 2016 Pulitzer Prize for Drama. And last week, Hamilton earned 16 Tony Award nominations, the most ever. But it was the story of Alexander Hamilton, the immigrant, that first touched Miranda's heart. He said, I recognize people I know in Alexander Hamilton. Not only my father, who came here at the age of 18 from Puerto Rico, but also stories of so many other immigrants who have to work twice as hard to get half as far. For Miranda, Alexander Hamilton's immigrant story opened the door to something much, much bigger. The story of the creation of our country. I had to make the founding fathers human for myself, he said, and I think what is touching a nerve is other people are finding the humanity within them as well. Hamilton is so much more than Broadway's first hip-hop rap musical. It is a game-changing piece of theater. Today, that couple, Lin-Manuel Miranda, and his wife, Vanessa Nadal, have an 18-month-old son. Miranda is now 36 years old, and he is the latest in a long line of first and second generation American songwriters who've shaped the way we see ourselves, and that line stretches all the way back to Irving Berlin. Miranda discovered one more important revelation in that Hamilton biography. The ideological fights of the founders, he said, are the same fights we are having today. What is the role of government in our lives? I'm slightly ashamed to admit that my father's generation answered that question a whole lot better than my own. For some reason, we contracted an acute case of American amnesia, where the lessons that our parents learned from the Great Depression were first ignored and then ultimately forgotten by us. Well, now it's your turn. You are graduating into a country where the fundamental assumptions that my father lived by simply don't apply anymore. In Dad's America, Kodak, the great camera company, at its peak, was valued at more than $30 billion and employed 145,000 people. In your America, Instagram is also valued at over $30 billion, and they employ 13 people. You live in a country where less and less work is required to create more and more wealth. In trying to figure out the appropriate relationship between wealth and work in the new America, you get to say what the pursuit of happiness means for your generation. You have the opportunity to reimagine your country as a place where people work not just to make a living, but to make a life worth living. Getting to that place will require a whole lot of creative thinking. Along the way, beware of folks trying to distract you with terrifying tales of Muslims under your mattress. And remember that while the names and faces and parties change, your choice will always be the same: hope or fear. And I don't know about you, but I tend to do very stupid things when I'm scared to death. Each one of you came to Rowan blessed with special gifts, which you developed and sharpened here. You are artists. You look at things that everybody else looks at, and you see things that nobody else sees. That unique ability to see truth and communicate it in ways that touch people's souls is what makes the artist the single most important person in any successful and prosperous democracy. America wants you to be the best artist you can be. America needs you to be the best citizen artist you can be. Me? I just want you to be consequential. Look around, how lucky you are to be alive right now. History is happening, and history has its eyes on you. Congratulations.
Good morning, everyone. My name is John Paston, and I'm very proud to serve as the Dean of the College of Performing Arts at Rowan University. This year, Rowan University is awarding Medals of Excellence that honor worthy individuals in one of three categories. Awards for distinguished service recognize the recipient's service to the university or their communities. Awards for research recognize recipients' impact on their fields through innovative and relevant research. Awards for alumni achievement recognize graduates' impact on their field and/or the university. Deans in each of our colleges had an opportunity to present awards. I am happy to announce that the College of Performing Arts awards a Medal of Excellence for distinguished service to Mr. Nicholas Paleologos.
The awarding of honorary degrees is a long-standing tradition at Rowan University. We select individuals whose accomplishments are meritorious and provide inspiration to our graduates and to the entire university community. Today, we honor such a person. John H. Beck has been a staunch supporter of higher education and a champion of music education. Mr. Beck has made great contributions as a musician, educator, composer, and mentor. And he has produced new generations of performers and teachers, now passing on the arts form of percussion music and performance. Additionally, he has served in numerous leadership positions with the internationally influential Percussive Arts Society. And most important to our campus, Mr. Beck has guided and taught Rowan University students preparing to perform his compositions on our campus, generously sharing his experience and knowledge. Would Mr. John Beck, Dr. Jim Newell, and Vice Chairman Bruner please join me at the podium. Mr. Vice Chairman, it is my privilege and pleasure to recommend to you that the honorary degree of Doctor of Music be presented to John H. Beck in recognition of his many contributions to music and education.
Mr. President, I am pleased to receive this recommendation. By the authority granted to me as Vice Chairman of the Rowan University Board of Trustees, today we honor ourselves as we bestow upon Mr. John Beck the honorary degree of Doctor of Music with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
President Hushman, honored guests, faculty members, and graduating students. What an honor to receive an honorary doctorate of music degree from Rowan University. I had no idea at the age of 10 where beating a drum would take me. But when I look at the places I have beaten that drum, it's been a good ride. I have one question to ask the graduating students of 2016. Do you know where you are going? Think about that for a moment. You just have finished your bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctorate degree, and now I ask the question, do you know where you are going? When I graduated with a Bachelor of Music degree in 1955, I had no problem with that question. The United States government had established the draft, and I knew I had to serve my country in one of the armed services. Did I want to do that? No. I had just spent 4 years acquiring my music degree, and now for 4 years, I must put that knowledge aside and be a soldier. Not a great outlook for a young man of 22 years old. Fortunately, there was an opportunity upon graduation for me to audition for the President's own United States Marine Band in Washington, D.C. I auditioned, won the audition, and spent 4 years in the band doing what I was trained to do, play music. Besides playing concerts, radio broadcasts, some marching, and going on tour for 9 months, a week, a year, one of the main duties of the band was to play in the White House for the President. This was quite a thrill for a 22-year-old right out of college. The 4-year experience was like graduate school for me. I learned how to be a working musician. I had a job. When my 4-year enlistment was up, I returned to my alma mater to become a faculty member and also the timpanist of the Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra. Someone once asked me, what is the difference between playing in the United States Marine Band and the Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra? I thought for a moment and said, the Rochester Philharmonic does not march. Enough about me. Now let's see what is waiting for you in the outside world. Graduate school, an interview for a job, an audition for a symphony orchestra, starting your own business, getting married, changing direction in your outlook for your future, or perhaps taking a year off to relax and unwind from the last 4 years. Regardless of what you're planning on doing, there are some key words that set the tone of success for you. These words go beyond just words because each one has a fundamental meaning in life that spells success. You are obligated to make these words or characteristics a part of your daily life if you want it to be a success. Responsible, cooperative, reliable, mature, moderation, personable, and musical if you are a musician. Let's call these words the successful factors of life. Let's take the key word responsible for starters. What irresponsible person is going to get anywhere on the ladder of success? Oh, perhaps they will get to the first rung, but no further. Going to an interview looking like you slept in your suit or dress is just being irresponsible. Personable. Now, this is one that certainly is a winner. Who likes to be around someone who has a terrible disposition? If you are personable, you have a lot of friends. Musical. This one is only for those musicians in the audience. It doesn't matter how fast you can play, how loud or how soft you can play, or how many instruments you can play. If there is no musical expression, it means nothing. It is just another expression of noise. Okay. There is one more factor in life that plays a huge role in your success. It is being in the right place at the right time. This is one thing that you cannot prepare for because it just happens. Not for everyone, but if it happens to you and the successful factors in life are part of you, go for it. I will explain that in a moment. Another word, cooperative. That is a characteristic that will get you places. A cooperative person fits into many of life's avenues. Being cooperative doesn't mean that you must compromise your ideas, but with a sense of responsibility and a cooperative attitude, you can make your ideas known and perhaps accelerate your position in your job. Reliable. If you are asked to do something in your job, whatever that may be, being able to complete the task with a degree of success is showing the characteristic of a person you can count on. Others will rely on you, and you will be respected. Mature. Maturity comes with the accumulation of life experiences bundled into a daily life of understanding that sets you aside from others. What that really means is that you understand who you are and get along with others. Moderation. I like this one because it has the meaning that you can enjoy a multitude of experiences in life and excel. The problem with many is that they enjoy these life experiences but overindulge in them and get into trouble. Now let's go back to this huge role in your future. It's called being in the right place at the right time. It did happen for me. Let me explain. In 1925, the first percussion graduate of the Eastman School of Music was Oliver Zinsmeister. When he graduated, he was successful in auditioning for the President's own United States Marine Band in Washington, D.C. His 20-year enlistment in the band was up in 1955. I graduated from the Eastman School of Music in 1955 and took his place in the Marine Band. I stayed in the Marine Band for 4 years until 1959. In 1959, my teacher at Eastman, William Street, decided to retire and asked if I would be interested in his position. I said yes. Was I in the right place at the right time? Better believe it. 49 years later, Michael Burritt was in the right place at the right time and took my job. And if Dean Whitten, your professor of percussion, had not come to Eastman in 1969 to study with me, I would not be standing here today. You just never know, but be prepared. Back to my original question. Do you know where you are going? Perhaps you don't at this point in your life, and that may not be that critical at this moment. But I do encourage you to consider the successful factors of life as you move from year to year in your future. They certainly have helped me. Congratulations to you for your accomplishments so far, and I hope you have a successful and fulfilling life. Thank you.
This week, we are graduating 25 students who have served our country as members of the military or National Guard. Many of them have served overseas. We recognize the challenges and hardships of going overseas and then transitioning back home to Rowan to complete their education. Will those students who have served in the military and National Guard please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your service to our country. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to recognize the graduates who have excelled in their academic studies while here at Rowan. These students are graduating today with honors and fall into 3 levels of achievement. Students graduating cum laude have achieved a grade point average of 3.45 to 3.64. Will those students who are graduating cum laude please stand to be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Students graduating magna cum laude have achieved grade point averages of 3.65 to 3.84. Will those students who are graduating magna cum laude please stand and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Students graduating summa cum laude, the highest honor, have achieved grade point averages of 3.85 to 4.0. Will those students who have achieved this distinction please stand and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated, and congratulations to all on your achievements. At this time, I would like to recognize the medallion winners, honors concentration graduates, and our Honor Society members. They are listed in the program and have been recognized at previous ceremonies. Will all these graduates please stand? Thank you, and congratulations on your achievements. You may be seated.
As Dean of Rowan University's College of Communication and Creative Arts, it is my pleasure to present our college. Founded nearly 50 years ago as the university's Department of Communication, our now nationally recognized college has grown to include 6 departments. They are Art, Communication Studies, Journalism, Public Relations and Advertising, Radio, Television, and Film, and Writing Arts. CCCA has a long, proud tradition of scholarship, collaboration, innovation, hard work, and creativity. Those qualities are fostered in classrooms where students learn from faculty members who challenge them, in internship opportunities, and in club and extracurricular experiences where they hone their crafts and develop leadership and networking skills. Among our proud alumni are industry leaders in television, film, journalism, public relations, advertising, writing, and fine art. Dr. Hushmand, Dr. Newell, and Vice Chairman Bruner, I proudly present to you the members of the class of 2016 in the College of Communication and Creative Arts. Starting with our graduate programs in public relations and writing, will all College of Communication and Creative Arts master's candidates please stand to be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Now on to our bachelor's candidates. Will the candidates please rise as their program is announced? Advertising. Thank you. You may be seated. Journalism. Thank you. You may be seated. Public relations. Thank you. You may be seated. Art, art education, and studio art. Thank you. You may be seated. Communication studies. You may be seated. Radio, television, and film. Thank you. You may be seated. And writing arts. Thank you. You may be seated. Congratulations to all the students in CCCA.
The College of Performing Arts at Rowan University is very special. As members of a vibrant, thriving arts community, our students share a commitment to quality and a passion for artistic expression and exploration. Those passions are sustained through outstanding practices in the performing arts and study with a world-class faculty. The list of accolades achieved by our students, faculty, and graduates ranges from important research, fellowships, and recognized excellence in performance to alumni working today on Broadway productions at prestigious venues around the world and as a part of professional military bands. The degree programs today's graduates have completed are the Master of Arts in Arts Administration, Master of Music and Performance, Bachelor of Arts in Theater, Music and Dance, and Bachelor of Music degree in Performance and Education. Dr. Hushmand, Dr. Newell, and Vice Chairman Bruner, with great pride, I present to you the members of the class of 2016 in the College of Performing Arts. Starting with our graduate programs in music and theater, will the College of Performing Arts master's candidates please stand to be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Now to our bachelor's candidates. Will the candidates please rise as their program is announced? Bachelor of Arts in Dance. Woo. Thank you. You may be seated. Bachelor of Arts in Theater. Thank you. You may be seated. Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Music in Music, Music Performance, and Music Education. Thank you. You may be seated. Congratulations to all of you.
Okay, only 1 more hour of speeches and then we'll let you go. Okay, you ready? 1 more hour. All right, this is time to confer the degrees. And you think that we just got you to stand up and sit down, this is done? No, you're going to do that 10 times before we let you go. I will now recognize the candidates for the master's degree. Will the candidates for the master's degree, all of you, please rise? Dr. Newell, will you please certify the master's degree candidates?
Mr. President, the candidates who have successfully met all requirements for the Master of Arts and Master of Music degrees are hereby certified by the faculty for the receipt of their degrees.
Vice Chairman Brunner, these candidates have been certified as having completed all the requirements for graduation. I present them to you as proper recipients of the Master of Arts and Master of Music degrees.
Master's degree candidates of the class of 2016 who have been certified as having completed all the requirements for graduation by the authority vested in me as Vice Chairman of the Rowan University Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the Master of Arts and Master of Music degrees with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations appertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Now you are really confirmed. Congratulations. Please be seated. I will now recognize the candidates for bachelor's degree. Will all the candidates for the bachelor's degree, the rest of you, please stand up. No imposters we want in here, either bachelor's or master's. Dr. Newell, will you please certify the bachelor's degree candidates?
Mr. President, the candidates who have successfully completed all the requirements for the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Music degrees are hereby certified by the faculty for the receipt of their degrees.
Vice Chairman Brunner, these candidates have been certified as having completed all the requirements for graduation. I present them to you as proper recipients of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Music degrees.
Members of the class of 2016 who have been certified as having completed all the requirements for graduation by the authority invested in me as Vice Chairman of the Rowan University Board of Trustees, I confer upon you Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Music degrees with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations appertaining thereto. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Thank you. Will Mr. Anthony Wunleb, Student Government Association President, please come to the podium.
Greetings, graduates, family members, administrators, board members, faculty members, and loved ones. I have to say, it's quite a view from the stage up here. We're a great-looking class, and at this time, I'd like to take a selfie with you all. Thank you. It's a privilege to represent our class and to speak with you today. Class of 2016, I'd like to ask you to take a second to look around. Let this setting and this moment in our lives sink in. On the stage behind me are our university leaders, our professors, and our mentors. These are the people who have wanted the best for us, even when we may have believed otherwise. They challenged us and pushed us to excel inside and outside of the classroom. In many ways, they share in our accomplishments. They're here because our success is important to them. They want to share in our joy. On behalf of our class, thank you, university administrators, faculty members, and staff, for your leadership and confidence in us. Seated around us are our friends, classmates, roommates, fellow club members, study partners, co-workers, fraternity brothers and sisters, and teammates. They're the ones we've grown up with and grown together with here at Rowan. With them, we've shared late night talks, practical jokes, the stresses of research papers and finals, laughs, tears, victories, defeats, and more than just a few memorable evenings out. They are our people. We are forever bonded by our shared Rowan experiences and the memories we have made here together. Please let your classmates know today and in the future how much you treasure their friendship and their presence in your life. Everywhere else around us are the people who know us and love us best. Our parents and grandparents, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, cousins, friends, and spouses. They are our history. They've always stood beside us, whether that meant teaching us to ride a bike, cheering us on at a soccer game or dance recital, or holding back tears as they said goodbye to us on moving day. They have been there for every stumble, every challenge, and every success in our lives. And they're here today to celebrate one of our biggest accomplishments so far. Thank you, family members and friends, for being blessings to our lives and for inspiring us every day with your love and devotion. It's obvious, class of 2016, that we are a privileged group. As college graduates, we have had opportunities that people around the world can't even dream of. With that privilege comes great responsibility. As you leave here today, I urge you to find your passion in your work and in your service to others. I urge you to think of challenges you face as opportunities for learning and growth. I urge you to set realistic goals and make genuine plans to achieve them. Whether that means landing the job you want, starting your own business, or running a marathon. I urge you to be the person in the room that says yes when everyone else says no. Be the go-to, can-do person in your job, in your family, and in your circle of friends. I urge you to remember that everyone you meet is like you, looking to find their way. Be supportive of their aspirations too. Each of the days ahead is a fresh page, full of new opportunities for all of us. Seize each one in ways big and small. And remember, you are supported by an army of people who love you and want the best for you. Just take a good look around. Buona fortuna. Good luck, class of 2016. I wish you all the very best. No, not yet. Sorry, I forgot to turn. I graduated yesterday, so sorry about that. All right, at this time, will all bachelor degree graduates please rise for the tossing of the tassel? We're going to be turning our tassels from right to left. Please join me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh. All bachelor degree graduates may be seated.
While there's no possible way to follow the president photobombing Anthony's selfie, I do have some closing announcements. In 20 minutes, ceremonies will begin in the following locations. For the College of Communication and Creative Arts, please remain on the University Green. Your ceremony will occur here. For the College of Performing Arts, please proceed to Flieger Concert Hall in Wilson Hall. But the audience is requested, to remain. The platform party is recessed. We also ask that special needs guests please make their way to the special needs transportation areas to be transported to the college ceremony locations. Special needs guests on the left side of the green should walk forward to the golf carts between Bunce Hall and the baseball field. Special needs guests on the right side of the green should walk back to the green to the shuttles waiting in parking lot R. We ask that the rest of our guests respect their needs to reach these locations. After the recessional, all guests should move promptly to the college ceremonies. Will everyone please rise for the alma mater and please remain standing for the benediction and the recessional.
Oh, when we greet thee, oh, praise pledge to thy fame, as soldiers who drink to thy lees. All about thee arise, the first template of God, lifting high leafy arms to the sky. And the flowers that bloom in the green of the sun seem to love thee too fondly to die. All about thee arise, the first templates of God, lifting high leafy arms to the sky. And the flowers that bloom in the green of the sun seem to love thee too fondly to die.
As the main ceremony of Commencement 2016 comes to a close, our graduates move one step closer toward their professional future. Soon they will celebrate with their families and friends in what I trust has been a wonderful day, ending a remarkable university career. Class of 2016, today is an ending and a beginning for all of us, myself included. I am retiring after 52 years teaching at Rowan University. Like you, I embrace the future with excitement and maybe a little anxiety. My wish for you is that the excitement is your dominant emotion. You not only leave here a graduate, but you also prepare to enter the next chapter of your lives. Perhaps graduate school, military service, volunteerism, internship, a new job. You have much to celebrate, much to remember, much to pursue. You will face new challenges and shoulder much responsibilities. Life will bring joy, and it will present challenges to test your preparation. Throughout whatever the future holds, I encourage you to continue to learn, find your passions, contribute to your communities, live an honorable life, and make a difference. As we give thanks for this day, I end with a quote from a truly great president, Abraham Lincoln, who said, "The best way to predict your future is to create it. So now go and create." And may God bless the class of 2016. And God bless America. Thank you.
Do you remember the 21st night of September? Love was changing the minds of pretenders while chasing the clouds away. Our hearts were ringing in the key that our souls were singing as we danced in the night. Remember how the stars stole the night away.
The College of Communication and Creative Arts ceremony will begin in 10 minutes. All other graduates and their families, please move to your college's ceremony. Also, all College of Communication and Creative Arts students, please remain at your seats. Thank you.
So loud, baby, it's the guitar man. Who's gonna steal the you know, baby, it's the guitar. He will bring you down and he'll get you high. Something keeps him going miles and miles a day to find another place to play. Night after night, who treats you right, baby, it's the guitar man. sun drifting miles and miles away, searching for the songs to play. Then you listen to the music and you like. When you look into his eyes, comes to you as no surprise. Always the same. Every time he's out with you, he tries to tell you what to do. You don't need it that way. Sometimes you think you're playing the fool. He's running around breaking all the rules. Somehow that don't seem fair. There's got to be a better way. You know what I'm trying to say. 'Cause deep, deep down inside, you live a life of total lies. What did he ever do for you? What's he trying to put you through? I just don't understand. You showed him love and tenderness, touched him with your sweet caress. Now he's leaving you. So what's the point in working it out? Tell me what it's all about. That's why I'm saying, I hope you're with me. I hope you're with me when it's over. I hope you're with me. I hope you're with me when it's over. You won't be lonely. You won't be lonely when it's over. You won't be lonely. When it's over. And in the morning when he's gone, please don't sing that sad, sad song. I don't wanna hear it. Forget about him, let him go. It won't hurt what he don't know. What's he trying to say to you? What's he trying to tell you? He don't really care. Face the truth and realize you don't need his alibis no more. I hope you're with me. I hope you're with me when it's over. I hope you're with me. I hope you're with me when it's over. You won't be lonely. You won't be lonely when it's over. You won't be lonely. When it's over.
The College of Communication and Creative Arts ceremony will begin in 5 minutes. All other graduates and their families, please move to your college's ceremonies. Also, all College of Communication and Creative Arts students, please remain at your seats. Thank you.
I'm not a man or machine. I'm just something in between. I'm all love, a dynamo. So push the button.
Ladies and gentlemen, the College of Communication and Creative Arts portion of the 2016 commencement ceremony will begin momentarily. Please take your seats.
Jill Gower, Department of Arts. Joy Seifer, Chair, Department of Communication Studies. Mark Berkey-Gerard, Chair, Department of Journalism. Suzanne Fitzgerald, Chair, Department of Public Relations and Advertising. Keith Brand, Chair, Department of Radio, TV, and Film. Sanford Tweedy, Chair, Department of Writing Arts. For now. And Ron Block, Graduate Coordinator, Master in Writing Arts Program. Finally, here to speak with us again is the Dean of the College, for now, Dr. Lauren Arnold.
Class of 2016, you made it. It's been a challenge, but here you are. And we, your professors, your advisors, professional staff, your friends, your family, are so glad and so proud. In your years here at Rowan, you've accomplished much. You've gotten good grades, excelled at sports, become a part of Greek organizations, kept student groups alive and successful, and won awards. Your successes and your challenges have impressed your faculty and your peers. You've made lifelong friends and learned more about yourself in the process. And now you turn to a whole new set of pursuits. Some of you will head off to graduate school, some will head into full-time jobs, some will travel, some will start or continue raising a family. Some of you might not be sure what you'll do after the graduation party. There are many paths that you can take, but regardless of what you choose to pursue, my one piece of advice to you is the same. Whatever path you choose to take with your life and with your career, engage it fully and to the best of your ability. Kenneth Burke, noted scholar of communication, talks about humans as being the inventors of the negative. To discuss all of the things that Burke meant by that would take more time than I have today, but one of the ways to understand it is that Burke is saying that humans think in terms of what is not here and not now. While we're doing one thing, we think about what we're not doing and what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. We have lunch with a friend, but we're thinking about the fact that we have to go to work afterwards. We get to work and do our jobs, but we're thinking about the workout that we didn't get that morning and planning how we'll make up for it later. We type up a report, but while we do, we think about whether our boss will like it, what she'll say about it, whether it'll help us get a raise or a bonus. We head home, have some leftover pizza, but we think about the salad that we should have had and what's on television that night. We're so busy thinking about where or when or who we are not that we cannot truly dedicate ourselves to when and where and who we are. We miss really listening to that friend and feeling the joy of the conversation. We don't do our very best work on the report or feel the satisfaction of fully focusing on the task and bringing our utmost to it. We don't even really enjoy that piece of pizza. Keeping yourself in the moment that you are in while putting your attention firmly into the efforts you're engaging in is the best path to success. Think of the people that you know with successful careers and wonderful lives, and you can see this philosophy in action. This year, 5 long-term faculty in our college took the step of moving into retirement. Professors Dan Chard, Ken Coletta, and Martin Itzkowitz, and Ed Moore and Ed Streb. While they studied, created, and taught in different areas, they all contributed much to the college and were successful in their academic careers because they were truly here. Professor Chard was here as he painted amazing images and taught students to use their artistic abilities to reveal truth to others. Dr. Itzkowitz was present in his interactions with students as he helped them with firmness and humor to find ways to express their realities through the written word. Professor Moore was in the moment as he worked to provide a guiding hand to each graduate student in the Masters of Public Relations. Dr. Coletta was here as he prodded students to go deeper in their examination of film, pushing them to apply understandings of filmmaking and life to the screen. And Dr. Streb was here as he enacted Mr. Persuasion, wearing his scrubs to class or lying on a bed of nails. They all succeeded in their academic careers because they devoted their whole attention to what they were doing in each moment. And they will find joy and fulfillment in the retirement phase of their lives for the same reason. Now, I'm not saying that if you do this, you'll never make a mistake or that you'll end up on a yacht in the Caribbean, but when you truly focus on what you're doing and you give it your very best, whatever you accomplish in the moment is a success, and you can be proud of it. In summary, class of 2006, take this one piece of advice, this thing that you already know at an intuitive level, but maybe rarely consider, and head into your next set of opportunities. Whatever you do, be in that place and in that time and who you are. In the words of Henry David Thoreau, you must live in the present, launch yourself on every wave, find your eternity in each moment. Go forth, class of 2016, and enjoy the surf.
It is now time for the presentation of graduates. Will the Master in Public Relations graduates please come forward? Tyler Blum. Victoria Madeline Woodside. Courtney M. Rice. Lauren Boisvert. Margaret Sundell. Janelle Johnson. Kimberly Cirillo. Grace Chiang Shao. Fabio Di Calandrea. Shatoya Best. Will the Master in Writing Arts graduates please come forward? Patricia Dove. Michael Nuspickle. Alexis Ravel. Caitlin Zielman. Will the advertising graduates please come forward? Timothy Bullett. Catherine Angela Masters. Dylan Coring. Brianna Marie Hayden. Raquel Marie Mendez. Nicole Krosnowski. Amanda Stout. Carly Lubell. Courtney Norton. Victoria Mulheron. Thomas Anthony Lapari. Brandon Spiewak. Dana Mosley. Kelly Underwood. Warren Abrahamson. Rachel Aronson. James Loftus. Mark R. Dowdy Henderson. Michael Robert Johnson. Rachel Rao. Christina Galanti. Jessica Riccado. Nicholas Manakis. Brett Pestrich. Jack Dion. Hasnor Rahman. Yoriel Coker. Ricardo Martinez. Serena Foster. Ingrid Chacon. Evan Horner. Jason Mendelson. Kurt Campbell. Stephen Hodel. Jamie Martins. Mark Rinkus Jr. Thomas Wheaton. Evan Connor Megnan. Catherine Shoemaker. Jenna Innocenzi. Sarah Fitzpatrick. Madea Ahmed. Rachel Sylvia Smith. Darius Thomas. Rachel Rosenfeld. Jefferson Tejada. Matthew Ebert. Robert Bullman. Will the art graduates please come forward? Megan Rushforth. Ricky Burke. Christian Gretz. Forrest Hindermeyer. Giovanni Ray. Anna Reyes. Sean Fitzgerald. Robert Perini. Chloe Helms. Rachel Leckenbush. Dana Pellegrino. Sarah Elizabeth Beard. Mallory Quagliato. Riley Pretty. Thomas Reed II. Jessica Edelson. Colleen Triner. Juliana Kraft. Emily Sanchez. James Solonic. Erin O'Malley. Allison Cook. Nicole Durbano. Mary Gount. Nicole Jacob. Brianna DeWitt. Nicole Uhas. Sydney Melnick. Chelsea Marcaci. Sarah Hay. Lazaro Craig. Samantha Kovnat. Daisy Joseph Greenwell. Brent Galen Atkins. Nick Vicente. Melissa Thompson. Megan Byrne. John Shepard. Timothy Dole. Paige Pentland. Victor Steinman. Alyssa Santini. Lily Fullerton. Amber Schwartz. Alyssa Willichek. Antonia Suarez. Megan Demora. Will the Communication Studies graduates please come forward? Dan Reganata. Nicole Paternoster. Justine Cella. Kelly Carlson. AJ Pellegrino. Devin Hoagland. Gianna Nicole Conway. Marina Mazzone. Amanda Valentino. Ryan Waldy. Shannon Tarleton. Renita Ramnarain. Victoria Marie Cepeda. Daniel DiMonte. Chevelle Johnson. Michael Harry. Adam Riley. Brittany Glanton. Julianne Stapidis. Kyle Crowland. Evan Brown. Brittany Lauren Zimmerman. Flora Ruley. Christian Luciano. Rachel Lynn Doherty. Shanice Bannister. Desmond Barrington Davis. Brandon J. Scott. Sal Orlando. Abood Elbana. Anna Rovins. Samantha Doyle. Jessica Lucena. Katerina Bisbiglia. Rachel Robin. Vina Marie Pizzo. Jasmine Phillips. Samantha Scherf. Jawan Tisdale. Tamika Covington. Rachel Harrison. Vanessa Hawthorne. India Taylor. Jerson Andres Romero. Will the journalism graduates please come forward? Cherie Moore. Robin Nicole Hester. Alexandra Jordan. Zara Assad. Rob Forlenza. Patrick Campbell. Logan Boyko. Taylor Bailey. Samantha Berenberg. JC Rose. Robert Joseph Silvoliga, Jr. Ethan Stetzer. Caitlin Ware. Anthony Medina. CJ Fairfield. Kevin Howard. Kayla Lewis. Jenna Lundstead. April Lucy Gambar Della. Lauren Campson. Ifioma Wadiki. Joseph Magaletta. Stephen Pistone. John Adams. Lucia Capella. Zachary Ryan Bender. Andrew Konzelman. Donald Witkowski. Stephen Polis. Richard Shue III. Devin Marshall. Mac Josephson. Ryan Woodhatch. Aaron Carney. Michael DiCarlo Jr. Albert Dadson. Will the public relations graduates please come forward? Casey Shea. Rachel Sylvia Smith. Krista Lynn Cornu. Angelina Mancini. Taylor Felschneider. Alyssa Ann Wildrick. Sarah Catherine Hangley. Ayana Lyons. Lindsay Matthews. Brittany Ashanti Lee. Taylor Silvers. Joshua Thomas Baldino. Tanisha Zakia Soriano. Joseph Parker. Malaya Overton. Morgan B. Litsis. Daniel Curtis. Crystal Beltran. Anissa Roper. Tori Burke. Amanda Lene Boise. Michael Letizia. Christopher John Carujo. Robert Anthony Mertzig. Charles Dean Williams. Jessica Sanchez. Brandon Lucanti. Stephanie Levine. Amanda Dowzicki. Nicole Herban. Kelly Plummer. Casey Prokop. Juliana Hennessy. Melissa Riefenhauser. Molly Snyder. Laura Forcione. Sarah Cottrell. Mallory B. Katz. Jose Santiago. Caitlin Adams. Lauren Greenberg. Stephanie Hemphill. Brianna Cognat. Rebecca Sangiuliano. Jessica Applegate. Christian Berry. Rachel Gordon. Samantha Mazza. Lindsay Brodowski. Alyssa Caldwell. Taylor Brody. Maria Alejandra Arias. Daria Marie Barufi. Dory Sasha Barron. Dylan Coles. Nicole Barbie. Amanda Steinberg. Giovanna Antoni. Monica Glisson. Shayna Davidson. Han Lee. Olivia Osterberg. Shannon Mahoney. Michael Poise. Zachary Brooks. Kyle Donovan. Josh Adlerman. John Demiri. Aaron Hawkins. Keith Harwood. Kenya Shorter. Alexa Rose Chiaffa. Andrea Delia. Megan Glatz. Anthony Corradetti. William Coleman. Danielle Bosch. Nicholas Clark. Laura Wayand. Will the radio, television, and film graduates please come forward? Jeremy Einbinder. Megan Coyle. Kira Barnes. Anthony Grasso. Chelsea Bunton. Thomas Anthony Keegan. Daniel Nathanson. Cassandra Dioria. Megan Jershenko. Nina Contento. Brittany Bonanno. Jordan Bishop. Matthew McDevitt. Vince Tassione. Marley Gazone. Patrick Lehman. Derek McCauley. Ryan Revelle. Justin Baker. Valerie Clark. Orlando Antonio Mercado. Nicholas Markle. Kevin Butari. Frederick Casario. Liam D. Kennison. Jonathan Mesa. Shannon Kagan. Daniel Luzniak. Philip Salamone. Kimberly Hutchins. John Urbacella. Margaret Ford. Ian Reagan Smith. Connor J. Buckley. Matthew Gant. Jessica Albanese. Kurt Riedling. Nick Boucher. Dante Sisto. Ari Schneider Gantz. Brianna Cutter. Kyle Rosner. Ryan Bondi. Matthew Torres. Samantha Amato. Christina Lee. Austin Johnson. Brian Bonardi. Catherine Ann Benowitz. Jessica Latini. Sarah Austin Fennell. Chiara Amber May Davis. Carly Lynn Jeffers. Rachel Susan Williamson. Samantha Quayne Barrett. Valerie Baylock. Joe Block. Jared Hussey. Grace Dollarton. Lauren Rotella. Melissa Priori. John Willie Patterson III. Danielle Lynn Nero. Jocelyn Gloria Brown. Michael Manarsi. Dylan Alexander Smith. Autumn Brown. Morgan B. Litzis. Ryan Toomey. Lauren Elizabeth Ralphner. Patrick Tyler Hopper. Joseph Kersey. Dylan D. Simini. Alexis Capelli. Lawrence Robinson. Carlos Rosado. Kelly R. Pritchett. Randolph Trey Semel. Justine Soldano. Taylor Mila Walsh. Renee LeMay. Jonathan Rivera. Paul Harwood. Edward Wood. Zakia Abdul Malik. Levi Gibbons. Lori Ann Sr. Alyssa Ann Sansone. Sarah Beth Donachie. Chester Raymond Green III. Sarah Weitzman. Carson McHugh. Will the Writing Arts graduates please come forward? Robert Andrew Josie. Ashley Michelle Rose. Tara O'Day. Leah Lanzalotti. Kimberlyn Broomall. Faith D'Ambrosio. Cody Smith. Dina Ikpa. Emily Bolton. Christina Suzar. Elizabeth Ditzel. Megan Ragonese. Nicole Riley. Lauren Strinkowski. Sarah Miles. Stevens DeJesus. Tyler Riggs. Crystal Webb. Lynn Tomeo. Darren Gaunt. Let's have another round of applause for all of our graduates.
Still got another minute. This now concludes the 2016 Rowan University Commencement Ceremony for the College of Communication and Creative Arts. Momentarily, the platform guests will recess, followed by the students here. We would ask that the, let's see, where's, I know, parents and guests, if you would please meet your students back there at the end of the green so that the students for the next ceremony can commence. Congratulations once again to the class of 2016.